your turnover is killing your profit. You just don't see it. If one employee quits tomorrow, you don't lose a salary, you lose profit. And most business owners don't even see it happening. Let me ask you something. Have your margins felt tighter lately, but you can't clearly explain why? Today, I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why turnover is killing your margins and how much it's really costing you. I work with small and mid sized business owners, and when margins feel tight, they blame marketing, pricing, the economy. When we actually run the numbers, turnover is usually the hidden drain. Have you hired someone in the last, say, 6 to 12 months and thought, why does it still feel slow? And let me ask you something. Does any of this sound familiar to you? In the next few minutes, I'll break down real replacement costs, the hidden payroll burn during training, the productivity gap nobody measures, and the ripple effect that compounds everything. Then we'll talk about why retention is a profit strategy, replacement costs. You've probably heard this. Replacing an employee costs anywhere between 50 to 200% of the salary. Most owners, they tend to roll their eyes at that number. Okay, so let's test it. Say you lose $1,000 a year employee, even at 75% replacement cost, that's $45,000. Where does this money go? It goes in recruiting fees, job boards, your time interviewing, manager hours, onboarding, background checks, delayed projects. And here's the part you don't really calculate your own time. If you're a business owner and your time is worth, let's say, $200 an hour in strategic value, and you spend 30 to 40 hours, hiring, that's real money. How much is your time actually worth when you're pulled into hiring instead of growing the business? And that's even before the new hire starts, okay? So let's talk about training time and the hidden payroll burn. Now, the new person is in the seat. It's a 3-month gap ramp up time. They operate at, let's say, 60% efficiency. You're paying 100%. That delta is margin erosion. Are you paying full salary for half productivity right now? But here's the kicker. Your top performer is now training them. So now you have two people that are partially underperforming. Mistakes increase, rework increases, decisions are slow, and none of this shows up as labeled as turnover. It just shows up as tighter cash flow. And let's be honest, does any of this sound familiar to you? Productivity gap is the revenue leak. Enrolled employee, well, it had leverage. They knew the clients, they knew the shortcuts, they knew the internal politics, they knew how to solve the small problems before they became large problems. And that is institutional memory. When they leave, you don't just lose labor, you lose speed, and speed is profit. Have you noticed deals taking longer? Clients, they needing more follow up, small mistakes here and there. They're increasing, slow follow ups, missed upsells, delayed proposals. That gap quietly compresses revenue, and you never connect it back to turnover. Here's a part most owners underestimate. When one person leaves, that team, they feel it. They start asking questions. Why did they leave? Should I be looking or updating my LinkedIn? Is something wrong? Performance dips slightly. Has your team felt a little less sharp lately? A little less engaged? A little more uncertain? Not dramatically, but enough. If your company generates about $2 million a year in revenue and performance dips 5% for a quarter, that's $25,000 in lost output. And again, you don't label that as turnover, but that's what it is. And if you're watching this thinking to yourself, yep, that's happening in my company right now, then that's good, because awareness is the first move. Look, if you want the turnover cost calculator that I use with business owners, it's in the description below. Please run your numbers. Most people are shocked when they see them, okay? But here's the brutal truth. Turnover is not an HR inconvenience, it's a financial event. So here's a real question. What is turnover costing your bottom line this year? Not emotionally, but financially. If you lose 2 or 3 employees a year, you could be bleeding 6 figures quietly. And instead of plugging the leak, most owners, they try to grow faster. They do more marketing, more ads, more effort. But growing on a leaky foundation doesn't fix the problem. So before you chase more revenue, measure your retention costs because the businesses that win long term don't just hire, they stabilize. In the next video, we're going deeper on why most owners think they have a hiring problem, but they actually have a retention strategy failure. If you're serious about protecting margin, start with the math and grab the diagnostic below because what you don't measure is killing your profit, and profit becomes an issue. Thank you, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.